I know that there's self-learning robots. Like I watched The Incredibles, so I feel like AI could get there. But I think that's kind of like the thing right now is like, it's like the human unpredictability, the potential for chaos, maybe.
The
That
potential
last
for
answer.
chaos. That's what I like to
Yes,
hear.
I'm just saying, like, oh, she just nailed it right there.
The potential for chaos. Like
Chaos.
that really sums it all up, right? Because me as a risk specialist, chaos is always in the picture. Like there's always room for error. Like especially when you add humans to it, there's always going to be a room for variability, and you always have to plan for that. And I think like one of the when I first started doing photography, and I went to an Adobe Max um, their annual convention, and the one guy that I was listening to that really hit, he said all these apps have like snap to, snap to, snap to. Is like don't just snap to, like push it a little bit so to make it yours because everybody's snapping twos. So push it a little bit. That makes it yours. Like you don't have to be on the mark. So I'm thinking like what you just said with AI, everybody's gonna be doing AI, and the human part is gonna be, oh, I'm gonna do it like this. Like AI said that, but I'm gonna tweak it a little bit on my end, like this. So it's gonna be like that, like whatever everybody else is doing, whatever the trend is, whatever the standard is, always push it a little bit. Always, take it back a little bit. Like don't be afraid to hit it to the next level.
Yeah, I love that.
For sure. And Uriah is always saying here on the show, push the buttons. We get a new update on something, and hey, go in there and go push every single button, slide every single slider, go outside of your comfort zone or what the normal parameters are, and see what else you can do. And so I love that. I'm curious, and this was a random thought while you were talking. What is something that a new storyteller and an expert storyteller can make as a mistake? What's a mistake that both a new person and an experienced person make within storytelling in your experience?
I would say, I mean, this is totally like through my own lens of like, what are the mistakes I make as an experienced storyteller? And I think about how, like, yeah, I've been doing this for, many years. And some of my students, I've been doing this since before they were born. But we are both vulnerable to fearing our mistakes. Like, even though like there's a part of me like when your eyes like, yeah, push all the buttons, like slide all the levers. I'm like, yes, I want to do that thing. And then there's another voice that's like, oh, but what if you fuck it up? And I think it's so hard to turn off that voice and be like, like I think that we fear mistakes. Even if we intellectually understand that like mistakes and failure is like the fertile ground of creativity, that innovation does not happen if we do not fail at what we were going to do. Because if what we were going to do was the thing we were going to do, like if we got there, like we wouldn't be innovating. We'd be there. We'd be where we thought we were going to be. We'd be in the expected place as opposed to the unexpected that we discover, right? Discovery has to happen from failing to get there. And I think that experienced folks and newbies alike, I think we're just vulnerable to that. We're vulnerable to that inner critic. Even when we train ourselves not to be, like I meditate about that all the time. Every day I'm trying to kill my inner critic. And she keeps coming back.
Say that again. Say that again.
Every day. Yeah. Trying to kill that inner critic. And it's like, Night of the Living Dead.
So how do you silence it, or do you use it?
That was hilarious. Dead.
I think so. I think on one hand, like as a more analytical person, because I've done story analysis work for many years as studio executive and analyst for production companies and studios on the freelance side, deciding if they should make a book into a TV show or should they make this script into a movie or a TV show. And analyzing the hell out of stuff for years, I think makes you very sharp in that way. And you can like analyze the hell out of your own work. You can, you know, perfect it to the point of killing it. And you can forget that something's just good enough to just put out there. So the way I kill the inner critic who's like, this can always be better, is I just tell her to get in the back seat and like, yes, I hear you. It could always be better. And mama's tired. So it's time to share this. Like, I just need, because if I just keep perfecting the one thing, right? You just got to get it out there. You just got to share. You got to be done. You got to be done and then move on to the next thing.
You become a creativity hoarder. Ugh. You become a creativity hoarder. And I just want to say, hi, my name is Adama, and I'm a hoarder of my creativity and storytelling. And today's day one. I hope to receive some type of.
Hi, Adama. I'm Lewis, and I'm a hoarder of my creativity too.
Look, I can barely wave because the creativity wants to jump out of my body. Hi. Hi.
Right? I love that term.
It feels like you're just pack ratting like your stuff. Like, and I'm like, and then they're like, hey, can you give me that footage from? And I'm like, hold on, can you give me 30 minutes?
Wait, I gotta edit it. Hang on.
Right. Sometimes you just gotta do it.
Right. And then when I release it, I'm like, go be with them.
Yep. I hope they do something great and amazing with this.
Go be with them. And I just want you to tell this one story, how you didn't flinch when you saw fear. That's all I want you to do.